back to Guitarnivore. I'm Scott. This is the first tone of 2024, and it's Amon Amarth's Valhalla Waits from the 2006 album With Odin on Our Side. Now, in order to play this, you have to tune your guitar to B, standard, and if you want to find the tab on Songster, I'll put a link down below. The tab on Songster is a little bit easier than the one to play on Ultimate Guitar, and it's free anyway, so hit that up if you want to learn to play this. Let's get started. All right, and here we are in our amp settings, and I'm just using the lead amp, gain at 29, volume at 87, 57 on the bass, 57 on the mid, 61 on the treble, and I've got the deep cabinet resonance with the presence at 16. I am using chain 2-2 because I've got a compressor before the booster. Going up to our booster, I am using a tube screamer, the T-Scream, with 0 drive, 13 on the bottom end, plus 4 on the tone, 30 on the effects level, and I've got the direct mix cranked all the way up because if you turn it down, it sounds weird. And I'm just using it as a boost as opposed to a drive or a distortion. Here are dry signal first. Turn on the tube screamer. Next over, we got a fat compressor on here, and I've got the sustain at 70, the attack at 66. I left the tone right at 0, and I got the level at 50. Before, with the compressor. Moving on, for effects, I do have a Harmonist just to kind of give it a layered effect, and it's very subtle. You might not even notice it. But I got it on unison, 2 voice, and I've got the HR2 level and HR1 level just slightly spaced apart to give a little delay here. Now I've got the pre-delays set slightly apart too, and I've got 7 on the HR1 feedback, master key at B, direct mix at 100. You don't even have to use this if you don't want to. I just used it for the purpose of the mix, and like I said, you can barely hear it. So moving on to our delay, we don't have a delay, but I do have a plate reverb that 2.6 on the time, 98 milliseconds on the pre. I got the low cut and the high cut flat, density at 5, and I've got the FX level just turned up to 13. It's not a whole lot, but once you turn it on, and that's it for the reverb. For the contour, now the contour is going to scoop the mids because I've got it set at 2, and the 2 type, when you're using the contour, it comes set up for contour 1 is type 1, 2 is type 2, so on and so forth. Okay, you can play with that and you can mix it up a little bit and set it on your panel if you want. Now I got this one set at 2, and this one kind of scoops the mids a little bit. So it kind of pulls the mids out. Let's hear it without once again. And moving over to our first EQ, I've got an amp out Parametric EQ. I've got 5 decibels on the low gain, 0 on the low mid. I've got the low cut at 50 hertz and the low mids at 500. I've got the Qs both at 4, plus 2 on the mid gain, 1.25 kilohertz on the high mid frequency, plus 2 decibels on the high gain, 4 on the high cut, and plus 2 decibels on the level. Turn it on. Our next EQ is a graphic equalizer. I've got it also set at amp out, and turn it on, and it kind of smooths things out just a little bit. And of course I got a noise suppressor on. I got it set at 52 and 33 on the release. So now that we got everything set up, let's play some of the main riffs. that's it. You're all set up. If you want to tweak it, in this guitar, I've got some DiMarzio Evolutions, and they sound great. Your pickups might sound a bit different, so if you have to play with anything, the first two places I would go is the EQs. So if it needs a little more treble, working here in this part. If it needs some mids or lows on your end, you work in this part. Same thing goes for here. Lows, mids, highs, and that's it. The link to download this tone is down in the description, as well as the link to the Songster tab. That's probably the easiest tab I have found for this song, so give that a shot. I've got another tone coming this week. It's not an artist-based tone. It was just one that I was playing with that I liked when I was working on this one. Before I kind of dial this one in, it's a starting point, so stay tuned for that. If you like this one, hit that like button, and if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.